Valeera versus Malfurion.
I must protect the wild.
Watch.
Alright, we gotta hope this guy's Jade so he can keep his scumbag self out of Legend. If he's Aggro Druid, I think he's gonna get there though. Okay, we lost. Good effort, boys. Sometimes he can't kill the Doomsayer. He can't kill the Doomsayer. Okay. I mean, I still think we're in trouble, but not completely over. Tar Creeper. Let's get the Tar Creeper in play rather than playing Mimic Pod. Maybe this is a mistake because it's not like the Tar Creeper is really protecting anything this turn. And we could have tried to draw into something useful with the Mimic Pod. But I think this is fine. Shadow Step is a really, really good hit. With double Shadow Step, Brewmaster, Shadowcaster, in theory we have everything we need. I think we're just gonna go in on Novice Engineer here, which is also good because we need to draw into a Vanish to have a chance this game. We could go in on Cold Light Oracle, but we definitely don't want to give him cards. We have mana to play Swashbuckler, regardless of what else we do this turn. So we're at 2 on the Novice Engineer. Let's just go ahead and Shadow Step it so we can play it with Shadowcaster next turn. So we go Shadowcaster, or Novice Engineer Shadowcaster, and then next turn we can go Novice plus Brewmaster maybe. This board is tough to deal with though. Another Tar Creeper is useful. Definitely starting with the Novice.
The shadows beckon.
Okay, I think we're fine with this. We really want to pick up Vanish. Vanish is so good. We can actually win the game if we draw Vanish. Jesus Christ. It's a big roar. I'm taking 14 here. Yikes, looks like we need the Vanish this turn. Shadow Step is really good. Shadow Step actually means we can play the quest this turn. These things have so much health though, it doesn't really matter.
I hope you like my invention.
Serenite Chain Gang is good. Still have one more draw to Vanish.
I hope you like my invention.
Jeez. Okay, so if we play Crystal Core here, we can only kill 2 of his dudes. Probably the 4 power dude and this guy. Oh no, wait, we can kill 3 of his dudes. We just saw a Savage Roar, but if he has the other Savage Roar, we actually die. I think we just have to assume he doesn't have it though. I think that's the only way we can win this game. Could I have swung this in here first and then made it a 5/5? I think I could have done that. And obviously, if I could have done that, I should have. I think we're actually favored if he doesn't have the second Savage Roar. Hydra. We should be able to win from here. I don't know if we have lethal on board. I don't believe we do. But we should be able to clear. And from a clear board, there's no way his deck ever does 10 damage. I think if we pick up another Brewmaster, we have lethal with patches. If we can actually get our stuff off the board. Oh, he is trading a Raven. Yeah, that does make sense. you would trade the Raven there. So pretty sure there's no lethal here. But we can just slam double Serenite Chain Gang, and I don't think he can do anything about it. Actually, we don't even have the board space for that, but one should be fine. No, we will have the room for that.
Oh, if you're sure.
Oh, I should not have traded off patches, but whatever. Hopefully I didn't miss lethal there. I don't think I did, though. Whoa! We beat Aggro Druid. We didn't even draw a Vanish. Okay.
Valeera versus Jaina.
Oh god. Quest Mage is a rough matchup.
You're back.
I don't recognize this guy's name, but he has the fancy card back. Am I just out of the loop? I think we toss Swashbuckler. It's one of the best targets to bounce, but we'd rather just find another Shadow Step. Don't quest me, bro. I think all the Mage decks are bad matchups for this list, though. He's not quest. I think I'm happy that he's not quest.
An incredible discovery.
Arcanologist, sure. Valeera. Let's just Hero Power pass. We could play Swashbuckler, but I kind of want to Shadow Step it, but then I'm not really sure if I can afford to Shadow Step it, so... I think we're just going to Hero Power, and then we'll play Tar Creeper next turn to contest the Arcanologist.
What to do? What to do?
My man's drawing a lot of cards. And I don't like it. Well, I guess I'll just play out a couple things here. At this rate, maybe I just try to complete the quest with Tar Creeper. We drew 2 of them, we have 2 Shadow Steps. Probably not, though.
The end is coming.
Okay, we don't really have a reasonable way to kill a Doomsayer. Not sure that we really care, though. Well, I think we're just gonna redagger and pass. This might be a matchup where we try to hold Valeera for a turn we think we might die, kind of use it as an ice block. Skulking Geist, sure. Hit nothing. Noob Skulking Geist. Wow, Vanish is probably not what I want in this matchup. I mean, it is a bounce effect for the Swashbuckler, and it looks like we are probably going to be falling behind on board pretty soon. We need to try to find something here. Fireball. Do we ever prep Fireball for this? The prep is just so good in my deck. And this is a really good thing to Vanish, because playing a 6 mana 4/6 is just way too bad. He's never going to be happy about replaying it, even if I Vanish it for him.
So many options. I'll choose soon. Here we go.
Let's just pass the turn for now. With a 0 mana Swashbuckler, it's pretty easy to play it on the same turn as a Vanish. And since I did get a duplicate Vanish, I think I'm probably going to be playing these Vanishes pretty freely in the next couple turns. So I'm guessing the Skulking Geist tells me he's probably like a Frostlich Jaina list, if I had to guess. And if that's the case, he might not be playing too much burn, in which case I might even just be pretty favored in this matchup. Okay, he's definitely not playing too much burn, if he actually just did that to my patches. Well, if he has Potion of Polymorph, I'm gonna be pretty upset. That's a good card. So we're at 2 out of 5 on the Swashbuckler. I think we're just gonna Vanish here. Makes him overdraw 1, takes a little bit of pressure off. We need it for the bounce on the Swashbuckler anyway. Oh god, we don't have a read on Counterspell. Start with the coin. Okay. not counterspell. That's a bummer. Probably just gonna go ahead and Shadow Step our boy here. Oh wow, this could be Spellbender, and that would suck a lot.
My hand is too full.
Frostbolt, sure. Ice Barrier was a really bad pickup, but can't be too bad, I guess. So next turn we can actually Swashbuckler, Brewmaster, Swashbuckler, and Quest. We don't even have to prep, but we can prep if we'd like. Alright, there's his 6 mana 4/6. Just making sure it didn't kill any arcane missiles he pulled off of a random effect.
Drink with me, friend.
We have 9 cards in hand, so this is fine. Pyros is not very good. Let's go ahead and prep our quest. Then I guess we'll just play out a couple things here.
Here we go.
Let's just go face. He traded a Skulking Geist into my patches earlier, so I don't think I'm really too concerned about that 4/6 on the board when I'm at 28.
I bring life.
Alright, well, I wasn't concerned, but he just Alexed me. It's a little scary. But we have Ice Block plus Valeera, so I think we're okay here.
The shadows beckon.
Let's go ahead and see if we can find something interesting here. Even if he has a freeze effect, we have the Fireball. If he has the second Ice Block, he pops mine, I pop his and play Valeera, and then he dies next turn. I think we're in a good spot here.
An incredible discovery.
Okay, so he should have his second Ice Block here. For what it's worth, it really seems like his deck isn't playing that much damage. So I could have probably just killed Alexstrasza and played a longer control game, or maybe even just like thrown an Ice Barrier and probably not died. I don't think the Ice Block was 100% critical to my win here. Alright, we popped his block. We should go ahead and clean up his board now. And we'll just drop Valeera.
You cannot escape the shadow of death.
He's gonna need to glyph into another block. And honestly, even if he does that, it's not clear to me that his deck can do 12 damage from hand. And if we become really, really desperate, we can always vanish these Swashbucklers into more safety. Probably should have put less damage on this Swashbuckler. I think I could have put the damage on this Shadowcaster instead. Just that way the Swashbucklers were more likely to survive for a vanish in case I needed that to happen. If he counterspells my Fireball, does my Shadow Reflection copy it? Check for a counterspell. Nice. Well, that's another use for Valeera. Just don't die for a turn.
Valeera versus Gul'dan.
Okay, I think Warlock should at least be an interesting matchup.
Watch.
I don't think we can keep Valeera though, unfortunately. Probably want to mulligan Novice Engineer, looking for Shadow Steppy things. Weak hand. We don't need the Doomsayer against Warlock, at least most versions of Warlock. And the Prep and the Vanish just aren't really helpful at this stage in the game. Dark Reaper is an okay pickup because I can play it on turn 3, but I mean it's really not a card I want in this matchup. He's going to be tapping on turns 2 and 3, so the defense doesn't really help me. Firefly's okay. Let's just throw it out. Get a couple little things on the board that maybe do something. I could try holding them for bounce effects, but we're still really far off from that happening.
So many possibilities.
Side effects? No. Trust
Mistress, okay. Play Dark Reaper. Protects our dudes. So we can coin out Shadowcaster next turn. If we targeted the Firefly, we would probably have to commit to going in on the Firefly. And if we do copy the Firefly, then Vanish can, in theory, be 2 more copies of it. So sometimes we're not that far off from completing our quest. Do you think he knows 2 plus 2 is 4, and 4 is less than 5?
the shadows.
Oh, let's play Shadowcaster here. I guess there's a pretty good chance he's playing a Despicable Dreadlord this turn, since he wanted to get my Dark Reaper down to 1, and the 4/4 Shadowcaster does a decent job of contesting that.
So many possibilities.
Okay, he's tapping, so no Dreadlord. I'm gonna Shadow Bolt my Shadowcaster, okay. Fair play. Serenite Chain Gang. I was on the coin, so there's no Abyssal Enforcer this turn. The Chain Gang is a little bit weak to a Hellfire, and we don't really have a read on Hellfire yet, I don't think.
Many options.
I think we do want to use the Vanishes defensively in this matchup. They're particularly good on his Gul'dan turn, and maybe his Cruel turn if he's playing a Highlander list. So I don't think we can use it here purely for activating the quest. And I don't think we need to, hopefully. We still have our 6, or counting Shadowcaster, 7 other bouncers in the deck. Oh shit, that Defile's sick. Yeah, I could have played around that. That was pretty straightforward to play around. That was my bad.
Only a fool.
Definitely should not have played the Serenite Chain Gang there. Got these Doomsayers, they just don't do anything.
Here we go.
Let's just pass. I think we're gonna try to use the Doomsayers in the same turn as our Vanishes to buy some tempo.
This jungle hides many
This
secrets.
guy's playing Elise. I feel like Elise is so bad in that deck. Like, look how many cards he has in his hand.
Trust.
What's he gonna do if he draws the pack next turn? Not play it for several turns? Oh, that overdraw though. I might even Vanish here. If I prep it out, it lets me kill his entire board. And I could even play a Firefly with the prep. I don't think we necessarily need to use these Vanishes soon though, so we'll just do this.
Is too full.
Skulking Geist, pretty worthless against my deck. We're at 2 out of 5 on the Dark Reaper.
Only a fool rejects the Lich King.
Okay. That's kind of a bummer. I'm sure it'll be fine though. Another Cold Light Oracle. He has to be upset about that, huh? Okay, we picked up some dudes that actually do things now, finally. Jesus. I wonder if we play Mill Rogue.
So many.
Are we just playing Mill Rogue now? We're at 2 out of 5 on the Cold Light Oracle. We can prep Vanish here, and then next turn can be like Cold Light Vanish. We can even throw down a Doomsayer this turn. Let's go. Killed all 3 of his dudes. Get the healing with the Mistress. God, big Game Hunter and Skulking Geist. This guy's playing for late game. This man siphon sold my Doomsayer. What? Siphon soul the Doomsayer and then play nothing else. Guy knows I'm just gonna play Cold Light Oracle, right?
My hand is too full.
He's playing Cold Light Oracle, what the hell? What deck am I playing against? Let's see, I have 9 cards in hand. Ferryman replaces itself, Cold Light Oracle puts me back up to 10. So maybe we don't play the other Cold Light this turn. I mean, maybe at this point I can overdraw, maybe it's not that big a deal. And if we draw Patches or Shadow Step, it's not a big deal. I don't want to leave my Cold Light on the board though, I definitely want to get more bounces out of it. Okay. So I guess we're just going Novice Engineer Doomsayer.
My hand is too full.
He only has 6 cards left and we can do a lot of damage with this Cold Light. We're not really supposed to be Mill Rogue, so we don't have a Shadow Blade or a Violet Illusionist. But he's quite a bit deeper, so I think it's probably okay.
I wonder.
He Cold Light Oracled me. The Fiend.
Drink with me, friend.
What is happening? If anyone knows what this deck is, please share that information with me. I saw a Howl Fiend, so I have to imagine this is a treachery list. Didn't lose Valeera, feels good, man. Let's get some things out of our hand here, so we don't overdraw with Cold Light Oracle. Out of cards. If we play Patches, we don't have the mana to play Cold Light Oracle again. It's probably fine. We're definitely not playing Novice Engineer at this point. Since he's already out of cards, we don't need to play Cold Light Oracle here. We can just chill with it. There's nothing left to mill, we're just doing damage at this point, and we can do damage next turn. I'm gonna miss this one damage, but it doesn't really matter. Wonder if he can actually beat me. Hellfire, none of those cards mattered. Doomsayer. He's on 2 fatigue. So we can play Cold Light Oracle, double Shadow Step it, he draws 6 cards. We should even have mana to Brewmaster it after that. So I think I can make him draw 8, that has to be lethal.
I'm out of cards. My hand is too full.
Just have to make sure I don't kill myself. I don't think I will though. Alright. This is a way this deck can win, apparently. I think the Cold Light Oracle was a nice addition. Okay.